Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Hey there, welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. So glad to have you a part of this today. Today we check out the best apps for sending money to friends. You know, it's whether you're settling a tab at the end of a night out, splitting rent with your roommates, sending part of your paycheck to support aging parents. Person-to-person money transfers are an important part of life today. Seriously. Thankfully, these types of transactions don't require small bills, personal checks, or even international wire transfers. Here are the best apps for sending money internationally and domestically. If you're trying to send money to someone with a U.S.-based bank account, you can send and receive money in under a minute. However, some apps require users to pay a fee for, instant transfers to your accounts. They require non-paying customers to wait maybe 2 or more business days to receive their cash. All that said, let's take a look at the top 3 apps for sending money domestically. First up, Venmo. Venmo is one of the most popular platforms for person-to-person payments in the U.S. Users can transfer up to $4,999 per week to any given individual, and transfers are free for the sender. If you pay someone with a credit card, by the way, the fee's like 3%. When you send money to another person, it shows up in their Venmo wallet instantly. However, typically takes about 3 days, 1 to 3 days, depending on your bank, for the corresponding transaction to show up in their checking account. So, users can either keep the money in their Venmo wallet to pay others with it, or just simply transfer it to your bank. One note: to make instant transfers take just a few minutes to show up in your account, but they do cost 1% of the transfer amount, up to $10. That's where it all cuts off. Of course, that leads into PayPal. It's the quintessential free peer-to-peer transfer app. Users can instantly transfer $10,000 or more to other PayPal accounts. It's pretty cool. You only need an email address and a phone number to get an account. Hook up the trusty bank account to the app and you're ready to roll. Same deal with Venmo. It takes 1 to 3 days to transfer it to your bank, or you can do an instant transfer. It takes up to a half an hour. And the option to do an instant transfer takes up to 30 minutes or so to get to your bank account. Instant transfers, 1% of the amount, up to $10 maximum. And as you start using PayPal, be sure to look out for those gotcha fees. They have some of those. If you use a credit or debit card to transfer money instead of your bank account, you got to pay 30 cents plus 2.9% of the amount transferred. Huh? And then international transfers cost 5% of the amount sent, with a $4.99 maximum fee. That's not too bad. And now let's look at our third one, Zelle. Many major banks, and then some smaller ones too, my bank does this, allow their customers to use Zelle to send money to people in the Zelle network. You can just download the app on your own, as long as your bank is part of the Zelle network, of course. Transfers between Zelle members are as close to instantaneous as it gets. Typically, transfers settle within 10 minutes. Transfers among members are free. Here's the downside to Zelle transactions: the limits. Banks can limit the amount of money you can send to any given individual over some time. My bank limits me to $2,000 in a single transaction and $3,000 over 30 days. And we have a list of the runners-up. Our top 3 apps are pretty much ubiquitous. Their widespread popularity makes it pretty easy to send and receive money from those platforms. However, there's still a lot of options and several other major platforms to consider. Cash App. So Cash App and Venmo are almost identical, but Cash App has a $7,500 weekly total transaction limit. Like Venmo, Cash App charges 3% for credit card and 1 to 1.5% for instant transfers back to your bank account. Fewer people use Cash App compared to the other 3 top apps, but it's a great platform to consider anyway. Apple Pay. Yeah, so Apple Pay makes it really easy to send money using iMessaging. If both people are Apple users, the transfer takes just minutes. However, transferring the money back to a debit card takes, you guessed it, 1 to 3 days. Google Pay is another one for you Android users. It allows you to send up to $10,000 to any of your Google contacts. Your contact doesn't need a Google Pay account either to receive money from you. That's nice, but they will need to connect a bank account or debit card to claim the money. It's relatively easy to set this up, just takes a few minutes. And then since most people have a Google account, it's a great way to send larger amounts of money to your friends and family. Now, the best apps for sending money internationally. Of course, historically, it's been like Western Union and MoneyGram. That's it. That's all you got. But today, mobile and web-based interrupters have made it so much faster and cheaper, thank the Lord, to send money across borders. International money transfers involve transfer fees and currency exchange rates. Companies can make money on both sides of these transactions. However, our top 2 recommendations keep margins a little bit slimmer for both of these. When sending money across borders, there may also be security and safety concerns. Our top picks are highly rated companies with excellent reputations. But reputation cannot protect you from every bad thing that could happen. So be sure to check local knowledge about the best remittance companies before committing to the least expensive option. TransferWise, the first one we'll look at. Very unique banking experience that allows customers to hold money in many different currencies. The platform supports over 56 currencies, covering over 70 countries. The most populous countries across the world are all covered, but smaller Central American, South American, African, and Asian nations aren't covered with TransferWise. So assuming that TransferWise supports the required currency, it allows users to send large and small sums of money to over 70 countries. The company uses published exchange rates when sending money, so the only money it earns is on modest transfer fees. Typically, transfer fees end up being lower than 1% of the total transaction, though this varies based on currency types, location, etc. TransferWise does not publish transaction limits, but may impose additional requirements for people sending really big sums of money. Next up, Xoom. Xoom, spelled with an X, is a PayPal service that emphasizes ease of use and fast transfers for financial transactions that cross borders. Xoom charges small transfer fees, like $3 to $5 for small dollar transactions, but it does mark up the exchange rate by about 3%. That translates to a fee of approximately 3% on large transactions or 5 to 6% on smaller transactions. Yikes! But Xoom has a top-notch user experience too. So easy to send money without understanding the Forex. Now, it supports transfers to 120 countries, so a little bit more than TransferWise. And then people receiving money from Xoom can receive bank deposits or even do cash pickups at select locations all over the world. For example, Xoom has 38,218 pickup locations in Mexico. And our runner-up for international transfers, OFX. OFX isn't the most user-friendly transfer service. It's really designed for people who are doing business overseas or who want to time transfers for favorable exchange rates. However, the fees are astoundingly low, especially for those setting up recurring payments. If you need to pay bills overseas, OFX may be the right tool for the job. Here are some final thoughts. Transferring money to family and friends should be cheap and easy. If you're overpaying, switch to an app that can make things simpler and less costly for you. After all, the less you pay to transfer money, the more money your family and friends can receive, and that's what we love. And that is our show for today. Thanks for stopping by to the College Investor Audio Show. We hope that was helpful for you, and you can check out all kinds of reviews on lots of different products and services, and lots of tips and tricks and tons of stuff at thecollegeinvestor.com. Thanks again. We'll talk to you again real soon.